Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mocha's Intake on Reality TV. Hope everybody is doing wonderful. Hope y'all are having a great day. This is only my third video. Like I said, I'm just starting this particular chat, and I just thought it was imperative that I spoke on the situation with Janelle and David Eason, and it really disheartens me because this is one of the most toxic, volatile relationships that I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. As everyone already knows, Janelle and David has had a very toxic marriage that has been displayed on Teen Mom over the years, and it really amazes me that they are still um filming. And I knew sooner or later it was going to come back to bite. I knew David's attitude and his controlling, dominant ways at some point in time was going to create problems, because that's exactly what happened. It got so out of control that he went on Twitter, and everybody already knows that he made a very derogatory statement against the gays in the community. And of course, it caused him to get put off of the show. So ever since then, things have been pretty rocky in paradise, and we knew that was going to happen sooner or later because, as everybody knows, David is a control freak. This dude is demonic. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. This dude has a lot of mental problems. He's a narcissist. And the truth of the matter is, this guy has gotten more exposure than he even deserves. So it doesn't just start from there. He just had a recent situation again in the news. Now he's coming after the producers again, basically stating that the producers need to get sued, which is the craziest thing I ever heard of. But basically now he's coming back for the MTV producers and basically saying that they need to get sued for basically putting him off the show. Let me see if I can pull up that situation there. Yeah, here it is. I found the article. And basically it says Janelle Evans' husband, David Eason, says the Teen Mom producers ought to be locked up for making him look bad. Now, come on, David. We all know you have done a fine job of making yourself look bad. Nobody has to make you look any more worse than what the hell you've already done. From day one, when she first met this man and got involved with him, it has been a disaster. And I've already come to the conclusion with Janelle that she does not make the best of decisions when it comes to men. Just about every man she has chosen has been just as toxic as her. And something about toxic people draw in other toxic ass people. And that's what happens. And Janelle has a history of picking up very toxic men. From Jace's father, from what was the other guy that had her on drugs, oh, I can't remember the guy's name. It'll come to me later. But then there's Nathan, and then there's David. I mean, and then she was seeing the other guy that was in the military. Matter of fact, he was her very first husband. He didn't get much exposure because she wasn't with him long enough. Okay, yeah, the other guy, Kiefer. That was his name, Kiefer. So Janelle has a history of picking up men that are very toxic. Now back to the issue at hand about Janelle Evans' husband. He's back in the media again because this narcissist dude claims that Teen Mom producers ought to be locked up for making him look bad. You're right. It's been over a year since David Evans was kicked off the Teen Mom 2 for posting a series of homophobic and transphobic tweets. But it seems that the husband of Janelle, Eason, is still upset about the loss of his job. I'm sure he is, because he's not profiting. He's not getting those Teen Mom checks. Only his wife, Janelle, is getting the Teen Mom's checks. So I know this control freak. He's very upset because his wife is making the money and he's not. So I'm sure he's more angry about that than he is the actual than he is about the actual event itself. He's more mad about the fact that he is not able to cash them Teen Mom checks. Okay, let's just keep it 100. On Thursday, David took the Facebook page to say that the Teen Mom producers who kicked him off the show would pay for making him look bad. This is the typical behavior of a narcissist. They love to flip the script. They love to place blame on everyone else. They would not take accountability. David is what I call he should have a certified master's degree in being a narcissist, because that's exactly what this dude is. David, who recently reunited with Janelle after a brief split, compared what the show's producers did to him to the recent Justice Smollett fake hate crime case. Now, what the hell does the situation with Justice Smollett have to do with him? But this is how narcissist thinks, okay? A fake hate crime is a hate crime. A meme posted by David stated. David added to the post, insinuating that he was accused by the team on producers of a hate crime, providing those tweets, which he feels is a hate crime in itself. Just like these assholes from MTV who said I made homophobic comments. Oh, way to go, David. You want to call these producers assholes. Okay, really, really make them resent you even more. Anyhow, no, that's just what you call it to make it seem like I did something horrible. David wrote, Team on producers ought to be locked up, just like this ass white. Oh boy, this dude is just, oh gosh, he's just a waste of fresh air. Um, he further says, basically, David is saying that the producers called what he wrote homophobic enough, though, according to David, it wasn't. Therefore, the team on producers who called his tweets homophobic and fired him committed a hate crime against David. Okay. The post got a lot of backlash, with several people pointing out David's tweets, which, as y'all remember, compared gay and transgender people to dogs with fleas and called them abominations who are the result of bad parenting, among other things, were indeed homophobic. David's responses was interesting. So anyway, I don't want to read too much further into this. Y'all already know the deal. MTV ended up firing him because of those homophobic comments that he made, and it's just been going downhill from there. David is going to be Janelle's worst downfall, whether she wants to accept it or not. And this time, what I really believe with Janelle is she's definitely going to hold on despite all of what David does to disrespect her. She's going to hold on because at this point, she cannot afford to look bad. She doesn't want to make it look bad. She doesn't want to make herself look bad, because the truth of the matter is she has not had the best of she has not made the best of decisions in choosing men. She has not. If you look at the history, you look at all the men she has gone through, you look at all the relationships she has gone through, she has not made the best of decisions in men. And this particular time now, she is definitely not going to leave this marriage. I don't care how bad it gets. I don't care how much worse it gets. She's not going to leave David. She's not going to leave him, because at this point, Janelle is feeling pressured to really keep on a happy face, because she already has a reputation of not picking the best guys and not having the best of relationships. So at this point in time, she's going to take a lot of bull off of David. I don't care what he does. She's going to be in it for the long haul, because again, Janelle is trying to protect her image. She's trying to protect her image more than her marriage. So she's going to do whatever it takes to make David look like he's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up husband. And David is going to keep embarrassing her. He's going to shame her no matter how much she tries to put up this front and put on this fake facade and acting like he's such this wonderful husband. What a lot of ladies don't understand is when you have dealing with a man that's very abusive, I don't care how much you try to defend him. I don't care how much you try to protect him. You can't protect an abusive man. You can't, you know, make him look but so good, because most of these type of the guys, and I'm not saying all men are like this, but these dudes in particular, these abusive ass men, they cannot keep their composure but so much. They can't. I've seen David try to be cool, calm, and collective, and then he'll turn around and he'll spaz out within the next 2-3 seconds, because the man is abusive. He's controlling. He's a control freak. Look at him. He looks very demonic. The man looks crazy. I just never, just from the moment I met him, the moment she introduced him to the world, I got nothing but bad vibes from David Eason. Nothing but bad vibes. I never really trusted his ammo for why he got with Janelle in the first place. My personal opinion is he's been keeping up with Teen Mom. He's already known about Janelle because Janelle has some notoriety, of course, because of the show. And I believe what he did was he finessed Janelle. He finessed her. He approached her. He knew what buttons to push because Janelle's whole life has been exposed through the world. So he knew what to say and he knew what to do to finesse Janelle because if I'm not mistaken, he's a little older than her. I don't know the age difference. Let me see. What is his age? What is his age? Let me see if I can find out his age. How old is David Eason? Because he looks like he's 50 years old to me. He looks hella old. I know he's much older than her. I'm trying to get his age. I don't see anything about his age. What is David Eason age? What is David Eason age? I just always felt like this guy had motives since he first got with Janelle. I just never trusted him. I felt like he finessed her. He was born in 88. He was born in 88. So 88, 88. So this is like 30, 31. Okay, yeah. All right. His age is right here. Yeah, he's about 30 years old. But he looks like he's 45 to me. He looks definitely up in his age. But like I stated, I felt like from the beginning of time, David had motives when he got with Janelle. He knew how to finesse her. He knew how to talk smooth game, and he knew how to whisper sweet nothings in her ear. He knew exactly what it took to pull her in. And Janelle, being the most gullible, desperate female that she is, she fell for it. And you would have thought after several epic failed relationships that she would have taken her time. She would have learned her lesson. She would have learned from Kiefer, from Jason's father, from the first guy she was with, married to. You figure she would have knew by now. And I just feel like Janelle is going to be one of those women, even if her and David were to break up, and I don't feel like they ever will, she's just going to get another, another volatile, toxic ass dude. I believe she's just a magnet to toxic people. Now, I will give Janelle this. I won't completely drag her through the mud. She has matured compared to how she was. I get it when you're young and dumb and full of cum. You hard-headed, you won't listen. We've all been there. I've been a hard-headed ass myself during my teenage years, so I get it. But the problem is Janelle, she's going to be beating a dead horse with this marriage because the longer she is on this show, and being that David cannot be filmed with her, I believe he's just going to make things more complicated. He's going to be very jealous. I don't think he wants his wife to have all the spotlight without him involved. I just feel like the longer Janelle continues to do this show, David's going to get more and more out of hand for a couple of reasons. For one, David is not on the show. You have to remember the man is a narcissist. He's abusive. Most abusive men are narcissists. And with that being said, he's going to be resentful to Janelle, whether she wants to believe that or not. He's going to resent her. He's already resenting the MTV producers like it's their fault. And it's not the MTV producers' fault. They were willing to keep him on that show. But when he did that Twitter rant, that killed it. He put his own foot in his mouth when he pulled that mess, So the MTV producers, that's how uneducated and ignorant he is. It is not their call anymore. It is the fans. It is those who view Teen Mom that said, no, this is not cool. These insults, these homophobic slurs he done put out there. So MTV had to shut it down, and I can't blame them. We're going to tarnish our brand. Why would MTV, who has millions and zillions of viewers, why would they tarnish their brand over this narcissist nobody? So hell no, I don't blame them. They had to get rid of this dude. But what's going to happen is he's going to make Janelle, the longer Janelle does this show, I'm telling y'all, he's going to make Janelle so miserable. She's going to try to hold it down. And I believe that's the reason he was acting out. Remember that last phone call that they talked about when she had to call the police on him, even though they lied and played that off once they decided to kiss and make up and make it seem like, oh, I was drunk, this and that. David, I don't care how cool and calm and collective he tries to be throughout this ordeal, he's not going to be able to keep his composure. He's not going to be able to hold it down for but so long, because his thing is going to be, I'm not on the show and my wife is on the show. Not only I'm not on the show, I'm not getting any Teen Mom 2 checks. So I can tell, first of all, I don't think David even has a job, because David had too much time on his hands to constantly be on the show with Janelle when he was on the show. I've never heard him talk about a job. I never heard him talk about I'm going to work. He was always on the show doing honeydew duties, like digging up dirt in the yard and doing little stuff to try to make it like he was being a real husband. Real husbands are providers. I didn't see where David had job one. And he knew what he was doing. He got with a young, gullible female who was getting these big Teen Mom 2 checks. And he knew all I had to do was finesse her so I can get him money, because dude owes child support. He has all these debts out here. He doesn't have the best of relationships with the mother of his children that he had before he had him with Janelle. And he knew what he was doing. He finessed Janelle so he can get in on the money. He acts like he loves her so much and he's so crazy about her and all this and that. And I'm sure he has a love for her. But the whole other truth to it is Janelle is his money maker. She is his breadwinner, and that's one part of it. And the other part is, I guess I could say, even if that was the case, if he wanted to get with her for the money, whatever the case is, okay, so be it, because she was the one dumb enough that would still want to marry him and produce children from him. But my thing is, the guy is an ass. He's a straight ass. We don't see him act like a jerk on the reunions. We don't see him act like a jerk on the shows. He has been a butthole throughout this whole ordeal. Now, he's been respectable, a gentleman, cool, calm, and collective. I don't think nobody would have made a big deal out of her being with him. But just the fact that he's so controlling and he's so aggressive and he's so mean and nasty, it really he rubs people the wrong way. He's like that fungus. He's like that fungus on the bottom of somebody's foot that has athlete's foot, and you want to get rid of them, but you just can't, and I just really feel like, y'all, through this whole ordeal, the longer Janelle is on this show, David is really going to act out, because the spotlight is not on him. And most narcissists and abusive men, they want the spotlight to be on them. When the spotlight is not on them, they can't handle it. He wants to be numero uno. He wants to be up front, and he wants his wife to be in the background. And had he been smart and just kept his cool, he still could have been on that show collecting them Teen Mom checks, and everything would have been hunky dory. But because he's such an idiot and he's a narcissist, he has no filter. He don't care what he says out his mouth. He don't care how he says it. He's one of those type of dudes. He's going to put his own foot in his own mouth every single time. And Janelle, sweetie, I hate to tell you, it's going to get worse. You can hold it down for the cameras. You can hold it down for MTV. You can hold it down in front of your mother. You're not going to be able to cover David anymore, because the longer you are on this show, honey, the worse your husband is going to get. He's going to get tired of hearing about you on the show, and he's not there to be on the show and share the spotlight with you. And most of all, he's not going to be able to cash them Teen Mom checks. Janelle, sweetie, if you want to save your marriage, I suggest that you get off of that show. Just count the show as a loss. Go ahead, get this last season out the way. Do not renew another contract, another season with MTV. The longer you are on the show, your husband is going to continue to keep acting out, hun. He does not want you to win. He does not want you to be great. He wants to be able to benefit off of your success. He's not going to be happy if he's not benefiting off of it. And that's probably the reason why he drinks and does the things that he does, because he is so angry and upset, and he's in a lot of pain from messing himself up because he can't be on the show. He wanted to be on that show to not only be in the spotlight, but he also wanted to prove to everybody how much he had his wife in check and how much he's running things. And now that he's been taken off the show, he has lost all of that. And one thing about abusers hate losing control. They can't stand it. If you ever want to piss an abusive man off, take control from him. Lord, taking control from him, it'd be like, telling a fat chick that she's only allowed to one serving at the buffet. Okay, so it's not going to be a good look, Janelle. I really feel like your husband is going to give you a run for your money. If you want this raggedy toxic ass marriage of yours, please get off the show, because David is not having it, sweetie. So anyway, y'all, this has only been my third content for all of y'all. If this is your first time here, basically this is my new YouTube content show called Mocha's Intake, and I'm going to be your reality dish diva. And basically, I'm going to be breaking down all the elements when it comes to these shows like Teen Mom, Lock Up. I'm going to be doing a couple of reality shows. So let me know how y'all feel about this. Do y'all really feel like the longer Janelle is in this marriage, David is going to keep acting up and giving her problems? Or do you feel like sooner or later David is going to accept the fact, okay, he lost his spotlight, and he'll give in and he'll be a supportive husband? I don't think he ever will, but I would like to get y'all intake. I would like to get y'all opinion on that. So again, this is Mocha's Intake on reality, your reality dish diva. And leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe. I just started this brand, so I'm going to be uploading a couple of reality shows, and if there's any other reality shows that y'all would like for me to speak upon, just be sure to leave your comment, and I'll be glad to start doing my research so I can start, providing y'all with the best of topics with these reality shows. Okay, so I will talk to you later. Bye.